Hello class. Today we're going to talk about multiplying rational numbers. A lot of you know the rules associated with multiplying these numbers, but we're going to talk a little bit about the meaning behind why we follow these rules when we multiply integers and rational numbers. So if we start with a simple problem, we can start with 2 times 3. A lot of you can say, oh yeah, that's 6. Great. Okay, but what does that actually mean? What that actually means is that we have 2 groups, and in each group we have 3 units. So we could also write this like 3 plus 3. The 2's indicating that we have 2 groups being added, and that in each group there are 3. And that is also 6. Pretty easy. Now we could also extend this to our negative numbers. So if we had 2 times negative 3, we follow the rules. Yes, we have different signs. That's going to give us negative 6. But why does that happen? If we look at the math behind the rule here, we have 2 groups again, and in each group we have negative 3. So that's negative 3, and then we have another group of negative 3. And if we go back to our integer rules for adding and subtracting, negative 3 plus negative 3 is, you got it, negative 6. Taking this a little bit farther, we can switch this around a little bit and we can do this problem another way. We can say negative 2 times 3. Again, same answer, negative 6. But why does that happen? If we look at this, we have negative 2 groups of 3. So this is kind of like saying you have a fee that is being charged for 2 consecutive days, and each day you're getting charged $3. So we still have groups of 3. But this time, the negative 2 indicates that we're actually taking those groups away, not adding them this time, because the negative 2 indicates the subtraction. So if we have negative 3 minus 3, well, we can think about this as another way. We can actually call it negative 3 plus negative 3. Well, that's still negative 6. And let's continue on with this trend here. So let's change the problem a little bit more. And this time we're going to say negative 2 times negative 3. So negative times a negative. A lot of you already know the answer to this is positive 6. A negative and a negative is a positive. But why does this happen? If we think about this again, well, we have negative 2 groups. So we're taking away 2 groups. And in each group we have negative 3. So this is kind of like saying, well, I owe 2 people $3, negative 3. And then a nice gentleman comes along and says, I'm going to take away your debt. So when that happens, when he takes away your debt, he's saying you owe negative 3, you owe $3 to somebody, and you owe another $3 to somebody. But the negative 2 implies that we're taking this away. So we're going to say, I'm going to take negative 3 away for you, and I'm going to take negative 3 away for you again. And if we go back to our integer rules for adding and subtracting, if I take away a negative, that is the same thing as adding money. If I take away $3 that you owe to your friend, that's just like giving you $3. And if I do that again, I take away another $3 that you owe, that's just like giving you money. So the answer, 3 plus 3 is 6. I hope that helps to explain why a negative times a negative is actually a positive. And if you need to, watch the video again and go to some further resources if you need some more help.